Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the program. It's Sport Pizza, where you get the absolute best in the exciting world of sport. And we must shower a lot of encomium on the Falconets for putting up a very good performance and giving a very good representation of Africa in the ongoing FIFA U20 World Cup. And of course, they've qualified to the next round, and they'll wait to see who they play next and the kind of performance they would put. Not a good time for Manchester United and all Man U fans around the world. 2 games to defeat. And then we also hear feelers that Cristiano Ronaldo might be leaving the club. I'll talk about that later in the day. But I must tell you that Nigerian players in Europe are shining like a million stars. Who are those players who hit the nets last weekend? We'll be giving you all the updates on the program. And yeah, even though not a breaking news, but last week it was reported that you can also say legendary Serena Williams bow out of tennis the grand style. We'll give you all the 4-on-1 and of course give you all her track record as far as tennis is concerned after this break. So don't go away. Welcome back. Now, let me bring in my strike partner. I mean, the show cannot be complete without Olakule Philip. So, Kule joins me at this time, and together I'll be giving you all the things trending in the world of sports. Olakule Philip, thank you so much for joining me today on the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Brownson. It's great to be here, and coming on the hill of the day where the weekend where we had so many exciting games. You know, one of those games that really caught my attention it was the game involving Manchester. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Manchester United. Yes, they had.
You know,
it caught my attention
now,
as well.
See,
but the big one was the game involving Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Great football artistry was on display. The tension was very high. I think what really made my day was that antipathy between the two coaches. I had a very wonderful weekend.
All right, it was drama in and off pitch. Even after the game, people were getting red carded.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now let's go straight to big thing happening in the FIFA U20 World Cup. I must tell you that the Falconets are putting up a very good performance. Now, the first game, there was no chance for stakers. The odds was against Nigeria to win that game. Now, against all odds, they came out strong, even though it was a lone goal, but it was good enough to get 3 points. Kule, second game again, it looked very strong and difficult. At some point, I was sitting at the edge, but these girls, they've showed that they've got quality to take down strong opponents. I mean, France are not push away. As far as women football is concerned.
Brownson, when I saw when the FIFA came up with the draws, and I saw the Falconet being drawn against the European champion France, and also Korea, a team that is dominant in Asia,
football,
and also Canada, a top-notch team in South America. I had my reservations. Not America, I beg your pardon. I had my reservations about the chances of the Nigerian Falconet. And when the Falconet, the French team played against Ghana in a friendly game, they molded the Ghanaian team, I think by as many as 3-0. And I felt, look, we're just going to go there and try. Our chances of qualifying is just very slim. But I've been shocked with the performance of the girls. They've been playing massively well. If you see, check out the transition from the goalkeeper to the defense, to the midfield, and the attack, I think it's been absolutely good. I think the only challenge they have is just the attack, the last touches on the ball, which for me leaves a lot less to desire. But so far so good. The girls have been holding the flag of the country very high out there in Costa Rica. The first one against France was against all expectations, dominated play, and got that all-important goal in towards the 9 minutes in the 84th, 85th minute of play, carted away with the 3 points. And the next game, let's not forget, Korea defeated Canada by 2-0, and they were topping the group. And then the girls needed to, stamp their authority, ensure that they are the best as far as the group is concerned, and they really lift up to billing. It was an end-to-end stuff. The Koreans came out. Brownson, the Koreans had more shots on target and off target than the Falconets. But when it mattered, the Falconets were able to get in that goal in the 82nd minute. A fierce shape. Come on, Branson. It was a coiling shot. It was fierce. The goalkeeper had no answer to that shot, and then the Falconets were able to get the 3 points. They came back, talking about the Koreans, fought all through 90 minutes to get an equalizer.
But wasn't good enough.
Wasn't good enough. The girls put on the defense were at their defensive best to ensure that we cut away with the 3 maximum points. That thunderbolt from Esther Onyenezide in the 82nd minute was enough for the Falcons to cut away with the 3 maximum points, knowing well that they are the only one who is hoisting the flag of the continent as we speak, because the Ghanaian team lost 2 games on the bounce, and their chances of qualifying is just hanging by a thread as we speak. So I think we hope that the girls will be able to sustain the momentum, get a good result in the quarterfinal, and of course ensure that they go as far as the final. Bronson, we've been to the final on 2 different occasions where we lost to the German team. We hope we'll be able to.
we hope the German machines. Let's just
let's go one game at a time.
Let's find out.
We don't put pressure on the girls.
Let's find our way to the finals, because as it stands now, with the very good performance these ladies have put up, I think no doubt they would go far. But Kule, let's look at their chances in even getting to the finals. Do you think this, with the quality you've seen, don't forget, even though one goal, I mean, if you must get to any tournament, you need to score more goals. Does this bother you?
Yeah, it does bother me a little bit, because the girls are playing well in the defense. They also play very well in the midfield. They've got a very compact defense and midfield, but the attackers have not been getting the job done. They've not been shooting as expected. So I think the coach needs to work on that. It needs to ensure that it begins to tell the girls, come on, when you have the chance to shoot, ensure that you do so. If the girls are shooting with the way the midfielders are distributing the passes at the likes of Amo, I think the girls will be able to get in as many goals as possible. But then on the second thought, Bronson, they are playing against the favorites in the competition. We hope that they will continue to churn out those wins. I think if you score many goals in the group stage and you end up crashing out in the quarterfinal, I think the journey wouldn't be said would not have been said to be successful. But even when you win by a goal to nothing and road to the final, I think it doesn't really matter.
Kule, I must tell you that what you just said now, this analogy reminds me of the Super Eagles in the African Cup of Nations, where we scored a lot of goals in the group stage. And we got to the knockout stage that mattered the most. We just couldn't get the job done. So let's hope that these ladies will put up a very fine performance and, of course, get us to the next round of this one. Now, let's look at the fact that, don't forget that some 2-3 weeks ago, we reported that NFF President Amaju Melvin Pinnick said that he wanted to quit the NFF Top Job. But reports and feelers we are gathering suggest that, he's now considering third term. Now, Pinnick alleged that family, friends, football lovers are asking him to stay. Kule, we hear these things time and time again.
That's what we hear from our politicians.
But Kule, are you one of the people begging Pinnick to stay back?
I can never beg Pinnick. why would I beg Pinnick? I think he's done more harm to our football than good. I can say it categorically. We've been saying it over and over again. Pinnick, yes, he has paid his dues. Yeah, I think we should shower him.
He has tried. Pinnick, well done, sir.
Please. Leave the stage for another person. Right now, we need someone who understands the game more, who is not self-centered. I'm not saying Pinnick is self-centered. I think one of the challenges we've had with Pinnick is the fact that he is eyeing top positions in CAF and also FIFA, and that is not translating to Nigerian football. I've been disappointed. I think the icing and what actually broke the heart of millions of Nigerians is the fact that we are not able to qualify for the World Cup. We lost the ticket at the expense of Ghana.
Sorry for cutting you off. I don't think qualifying to the World Cup is the least thing Nigerians worry about. Football has not developed in this country.
No,
for instance,
is also, if we are qualified for the World Cup, probably people will have actually had a second thought. But the fact that we are not going to, we lost to a Ghanaian team that is not as strong as the Nigerian team. because they made so many wrong decisions, and we are still pained by that loss. Yes, football is not. If you say football is not developing, bouncing in recent time. Our under 17, under 20, they've been moving, they've been achieving, they've been gaining, amassing results. So I think you would say some people would argue that.
Sometimes we get it wrong. For the fact that under 20 girls, the Falconets are doing very well in the World Cup.
The under 17 male team, the under 20 male team.
This doesn't connote
for both.
This does not connote progression of football. For instance, look at South Africa, look at Egypt, look at Tunisia. Kano Pillars, for instance, they have Kano Pillars 1 and 2. They have academy, and they have football competitions from the grassroots
level.
Yes, and they also have some other grassroots competitions. When you and I were young, Kule, we were going to Krikri Town to watch Principal Cup.
Absolutely.
Where are all these competitions now? So there are no avenue. Pinnick has not created anything to develop football. For instance, if you don't have an uncle, you don't have a connect that will link you up to XYZ. If you call the under 17 players, they'll tell you how they got to that team. So don't let us go to that angle. So Absolutely. When we talk of football development, Pinnick, you have done well, thank you. And I want to appeal to all those that are begging Pinnick. Allow him to go and rest.
Nobody is begging. See, those is alleging that are begging him are probably are people who are gaining from his position as the president of Nigeria.
On the program, we are appealing to those people to please don't beg Pinnick again. Let's have a breath of fresh air.
We need a breath of fresh air. We need another person to handle
the affair. All right. On that note, let's take a very quick break. When we come back, more stories to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, it was a beautiful weekend of football across Europe as we saw top clubs put up very fine performance to give a very good representation of the club sides. But for Manchester United, the red side of Manchester, it wasn't a very good time. But the blue part of Manchester shone like a million stars, grabbing 6 points from 2 games. Total of about 8 goals. That's frightening for the defending champions. It was 6 goals, 2 goals in the first game, and of course 4 goals. That's 6 goals. Now, if you think that the game that happened last weekend between Chelsea and Tottenham was going to be a joke, it ended with 2 managers grabbing a red card after 90 minutes. Fantastic, what must be said. But first of all, let's talk about Manchester United. There have been lots of issues. Now, last week on the opening day of the season, fans outside Old Trafford protested, and of course, after the game, protests continued, and the team on the night lost 4-0. And they've conceded 6 goals in 2 Premier League games. Guess what, Kule? The next game is against Liverpool, a very high-scoring Liverpool. And I don't understand what's going on in the mind of Ten Hag at this time.
Yeah, I think last week when we talked about Manchester United, we complained about the fact that they lack creativity in the midfield. And it looks like the Glazers family are not doing anything. They are not saying anything. I said when other club sides, serious-minded club sides, are busy in the transfer market, Manchester United management are busy looking around, looking at what others will do. And I think it's disappointing that they've turned this club to a mere club, a club that does not believe in winning silverware. Remember the days of Sir Alex Ferguson. Even they don't have the Aris of stars at their disposal, but they get in 3-4 top-class players, and Sir Alex Ferguson, the legend, will match them with some young players but they're able to achieve
in defense
the results.
Now, you just mentioned a very important factor of this discussion, which is Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson was also under the Glazers' ownership, and they were performing. So what has changed after that time?
Yeah, they've got the sporting director, Richard Arnold. I think is not a proven personnel to actually handle that position because so much is expected. One thing that I've actually been working against Manchester United is the fact that they've been signing wrong players, and at times the players' philosophy. One other thing I also think we should look at is the fact that during the time of Sir Alex Ferguson, the players respect Sir Alex Ferguson so much. The respect is actually there for everyone. But since Alex left, the players don't seem to respect the managers that have been, Manchester United management have been signing in recent times. So I think that that is one of the major challenges they face. One other thing, Bronson, that they also need to look at is to get good psychologists to actually psych these guys up. Though I feel these players don't even need a psychologist, because when you see top players and then you put them in different positions and they're not able to perform, I think the hunger is not there anymore. The hunger, the desire, the inclination to get silverwares is not there for the players. And I wonder how other team does it, and it's difficult for Manchester United to actually get the job done. I think they should be busy. They should try to get the defensive midfielder.
But that squad had McTominay. Come on, guys.
Man, it's not proven. It's not a
No. I disagree with you.
It's
McTominay under Jose Mourinho was a key factor of that team. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, McTominay was very influential in that midfield.
Who does McTominay?
You also have a friend. You also have a friend in that Manchester United team.
You look at the impact of this midfielders.
You have a match.
Hold on.
I'm listening.
When you talk about midfielders,
okay.
proving creative or defensive midfielders. When you talk about defensive midfielders,
okay,
you look at the number of tackles that they make,
okay,
the number of passes that they are able to make, the number of stops that they are able to put
the question United should ask now, Kule, is why has McTominay dropped under probably this new manager?
Yeah,
McTominay last season was a very good player.
It wasn't all that good. He played very well last season. But when you say it's not as if he played very exceptionally, like you're actually portraying it to be. They need to sign a proven midfielder. That's what I'm saying, Brownsing. One of the things that I keep saying that worked against Manchester United is the fact that they are just nonchalant. So they are not when they see the problems and they are not able to.
Are you saying now if I bring out the check and say Kunle, give to Manchester United, sign a defensive midfielder, the problem will go away?
Yeah, I think so. They need a defensive midfielder, an attacking midfielder with a top striker.
Has the coach come out to say that?
Yeah, the coach will not say, come on, if the coach is going to say that, he's going to tell that to the management.
Okay.
So the management is only coaches that when they get frustrated, like your man, Jose Mourinho, when he gets frustrated, he's going to shout, come on, I need these players. They didn't give these players to me, but some coaches, a coach like Ten Hag is a bit reserved, and then he's trying to see how he plays the game around with the management. We hope that they will be able to sign this player because the transfer market is still there. It's going to close anytime soon. They need a defensive midfielder, an attacking midfielder, and a top striker. How they are able to get a striker is the $1 million question.
Well, time definitely would decide that. It's unfortunate that some of these big players are slipping through the hands of Manchester United, and as it stands now, they don't look very attractive for some players. And for me, I think one of the solutions to this problem, I think Ten Hag from the starts was Ten Hag is a very good coach, but I think he doesn't have that kind of CV. In terms of, now when I talk about CV, Manchester United, if you must coach Manchester United, you must have a very big ego to manage the players. I don't think Ten Hag has this kind of ego.
You're talking about his pedigree.
His pedigree. He doesn't have that kind of pedigree.
Yeah, I quite agree. But Bronson, the game against Brentford wasn't the fault of the coach, as far as I'm concerned. I think the culprit came out.
I agree, but goalkeepers make errors in games.
No, come on. When you make two, you make two errors in the game.
Did United score a goal?
The game entirely.
Did United score a goal?
Did they score? Bronson, so when you are down like that, the manner in which he considered the first goal, the second goal, I don't know what he was thinking.
But they didn't score a goal. They didn't score a goal.
Down within less than 30 minutes by 3 goals to nothing. Come on, what are you going to do? The second goal, there was nobody with him. He saw that the defender and 2 players who marked him.
Did United score a goal in that game?
I'm saying United does not need to. When they are down like that, once you are 3 goals down, you are demoralized. How do you come back in such manner and you know the team is actually struggling? It's a gist for the department. It's a gist because United did not score a goal. If they had scored 1 or 2 back, maybe that would have lifted them. They didn't score. The first game they didn't score a goal. Second game they didn't get a goal. So that's not. No, the first game they got the goal. They scored. They lost by 2 goals to 1. Okay, 2 goals to 1. Yes. Settle. Though some will say it was an own goal. So yeah, they got a goal, yeah, of course. But Kule, let's look at what happened in the last
gassed up that game after the final whistle, the controversy that happened. Now, Thomas Tuchel reached out to shake the hands of Conte. And of course, Conte reached out as well, shook him, but didn't look at him. Thomas Tuchel felt like, no, if you're shaking my hands, you should look at my face. And then, of course, Conte flared up.
Yeah, I think Thomas Tuchel should get a ban. He should be fined for that very disrespectful, or unfound attitude of his in that game. The tension of the game was so much, and probably Tuchel felt that the last goal scored, the equalizer, by Harry Kane should not have stood, and then they were not happy about it. Yes, Conte celebrated. You could see the celebration from both coaches. When Chelsea got the second goal, you saw the celebration of Tuchel. He ran to the other side, and when Tottenham also equalized. When they were down by a goal to nothing and they restored parity, you could see the celebration of Conte. And when Conte celebrated, Tuchel went to accost him, and it was, I think they had a fierce argument at that time. When the game has ended, it was a tension-soaked game, and then with a lot of mixed feelings. The coach, your colleague, wanted to shake hands with you. You don't need to look at anybody into the face. Why do you want him to look at you in the face? That is, for me, it's very disrespectful. He shook hands with you, and it was going, and all of a sudden you drew him back. Come on, I think that is way beyond mark, and I think he should get a suspension. He should get fined for that unruly behavior. Now,
that the red cards issued on both coaches means that they'll both be suspended.
Yeah, they are both suspended
for the next game. Let's see how well the teams will perform well without the manager. Now, finally, before we say goodbye to the show, now last week it was, let's say, a mixed feeling for me as one of my favorite tennis player, Serena Williams, said goodbye to the sport. But inside of me, in my head, I feel we might just see a comeback, because in 2009, Kim Clijsters took a break from the sport. That was in 2008. She came back in 2009 and went all the way to win the US Open title. So we just might see Serena Williams making a return, or maybe not. But I mean, she's got to win 3 Grand Slam. We thought she was going to make 4, get one more to make it 24 Grand Slam to record Margaret Court's record, but that never happened. But don't take anything away from her. She put up a very good, fantastic performance during her time.
Yeah, it was a very difficult situation, to take for her, because she said she doesn't want to say she's quitting tennis, but she's evolving away from tennis. And some of the reasons she gave was that she wants to have another child. You remember her first child, Olympia, is growing, and she said she barely have time for her. She wants to take care of her and also the husband, Alex, and they're also planning to have a second child. So she said, when she eventually gets pregnant, it will be difficult for her to still play tennis at that time. So she said she's going to play at the US Open, and after the US Open, she might just be calling it quit. But like you said, it's been proven that when some of these athletes say they want to quit at some time, there's still the desire in them, and they probably come back later.
Yeah.
We hope that probably in the nearest future, after she has a second child, she'll be able to come back to the sport she loves to do best, tennis.
Let's hope so, and I hope she comes back with a bang. Olakunle Philip, I must say a very big thank you to you for being on this program today.
Yeah, thank you very much. But Brownson, remember, you never talked about the mesmerizing performance of Arsenal.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
We were on fire.
We'll talk about it
next week. Jesus.
We'll talk about it next week until Arsenal start losing. All right, that's my final whistle on the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen right now. Now, special thanks to all those that have been sending us email to our email address that is also on your screen. We would like to read more from you. Keep those emails coming. Now, our social media platform is absolutely buzzing. So you may just want to go to Facebook, just type Sport Pizza, like our page, and join the conversation. My name is Brownson Uwana. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of the day.